This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 841. I am Brian Kilby. With me this week, we have Donald.
Hello.
Is that a denim shirt?
Yes, it is.
That is radical. I love it.
It's the same denim shirt, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the only denim shirt I have.
Yeah.
Denim Dan.
Yeah, that was
Denim
Diecast.
Don.
Happy birthday, Diecast.
Thank you.
Matt.
Hello.
This is what, in a month?
Month and a half.
Month and a half.
Beginning of September. First week of September.
Rob.
Hello.
Chris.
Why am I last?
I don't know.
The
You're not
disrespect.
first, you're last.
Yeah, that's true. So everybody but Don is last. Yeah.
It's the denim shirt.
It's the denim. Yeah. Oh man. So last week was a pretty big week. A lot of toys we learned about, we saw. This week we're sort of getting like better looks at most of them. Not a lot in the way of otherwise anyway, not a lot in the way of new stuff. But I did really want to talk about some of the legacy reveals from last week. We have new photos on Autobase Aichi, including pictures of Menasor. And Don, are you still buying this?
I don't know. It depends on how much it is. Because I don't think
Assume $200.
Yeah. I am very tempted, yes.
Is it so that is $200 to you right there?
I looked at them, but it was on my phone.
Well, I mean, Motormaster's a commander figure, so those are going for nearly $100 on their own anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it could be like $189.99, but like it's gonna be right around that $200 mark.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I am very tempted because it is a gift set, but with all the other stuff I've got coming in, I want to get, I may just have to pass and be happy with what I've got.
I want to tell you a secret. I have yet to assemble my Menasor. I've yet to dig all of the individual pieces out to put them together.
Well, that's your own fault.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
Menasor is fantastic.
Yeah, but I
I will
haven't
admit
done it.
I kind of lost the enthusiasm for this Menasor about halfway through.
Yeah, I think when I had a hard time finding the last deluxe.
It wasn't even a problem with the finding stuff for me. It was like Dead End was not a great experience with that first copy I had. And then it was kind of a bummer when Breakdown ended up being, a Ferrari wearing a hat. Like, just they started out well with the set of Stunticons, but it just kind of fumbled partway through, and it felt bad, and it just like killed my motivation.
If it had come out originally in this box set, I think I would have been more excited for it.
Breakdown, or as I call him, letdown. Yes, was unfortunate.
Yeah.
Especially as the last one when all the other vehicle modes looked so good.
Right.
Breakdown was unfortunate. But I mean, overall, as a set and as a combiner, I think it's fantastic.
Cool.
I
I kind of was hoping that this box set that I think we'd heard rumors about previously was going to be a G2 box set, and then I was going to think about it, but I kind of did not trust my patience to track down the individual pieces, so I never even got started on Menasor.
Well, they've started the G2 stuff, and we've got two of them. I had no problem finding Shadow Strip, and now G2 Dead End is short packed in a case, and we still have no word on how the other three are going to come out or when. So that's terrifying.
It is.
Quite frankly.
Yeah, Diecast,
so-
the next time we have a roundtable, there's a question for you, Diecast. What is going on with these G2 Stunticons, and why can't we get some information, or at least know what to look
Probably
for?
be me or Chris asking that next time.
Oh, okay.
And I probably wouldn't ask that question anyway because I know what the answer is, which is, they'll get
Can't
them out when
discuss it.
when their partners are ready to, take on whatever.
Yeah, they're very much going to be slotted into we need something to fill this wave out.
They'll happen when there's a space for them to happen, and they're not going to know that in advance when that's going to be, where they can tell us.
Yeah. Now, if we ever have like a convention in the real world again or something, yeah, Diecast is definitely going to be our on-site correspondent. We need to get
Unless
you like
he's working.
Yeah, we need to get you like a reporter hat and like a little card, like coming out of the brim.
New York Comic-Con, hopefully. I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Toy Fair too, hopefully. The
Yeah.
Hasbro event,
Yeah.
if there's one.
I keep forgetting that we didn't have Toy Fair yet this year.
Yeah.
Well, we kind of got used to not having it because we haven't had it since 2020.
Exactly.
Let's see here. Another pick, more Hot Shot, but like I'm just kind of over. I don't see anything terribly new. Studio Series reveals. I don't really see anything new.
Better looks at stuff though.
Yeah.
Because most of what we were going on last week was like pictures taken of the projector screen during the panel.
Yeah, that's right. These are nice and high res.
Yeah, I put these in here because they're the press release of stock photos.
Yeah, Ultra Magnus still looks great.
Oh yeah,
you
it
can
does.
really see the matrix in the chest, and it's tiny.
It's the same matrix design that we've had like 17
he's just
times
much
already.
larger.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking at this, it really does. The question is like, what's the difference between Generations and Masterpiece? And it just comes down to plastic type, more or less.
Size a little bit,
type. Yeah.
I prefer. That was a question that we posed when Earthrise Optimus Prime came out.
Oh yeah,
and I like Earthrise Optimus Prime basically better than any Masterpiece Optimus Prime has come out, except for maybe MP01.
it's a lot more fun to transform than MP1.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
MP1 was like a project to transform. I had an MP1 for a while. I ended up selling it because like it just sat there because I didn't ever want to do anything with it because it was a big awkward, pain in the ass kind of. So someone tweeted out, I think, a picture. I don't have the link to the tweet, unfortunately, but someone took the Omega Supreme blast effects, which Ultra Magnus comes with, and there is some picture where like that's sitting next to Ultra Magnus. They use that as a scale reference and got the Kingdom Ultra Magnus out and put that there, and then the like knockoff oversized War for Cybertron Ultra Magnus, and like Studio Series Ultra Magnus beats out that oversized one by what looks like an inch or so. Like it's
That's awesome.
At least a head taller than that. So it's going to be the biggest Generations Ultra Magnus we've had so far.
When is that supposed to come out?
Pre-orders in August, and I think it's on schedule for like fall or so, end of the year-ish.
I don't know if this is a complaint, if this is a nitpick, if this is unimportant, but because the Ultra Magnus cab isn't its own robot, like looking at it up close, blown up, it's not this big in hand. I get that. It looks kind of plain. It's me. It just.
I mean, it was always just a plain white
Yeah,
cab
not
with a red bumper.
not even that.
Yeah.
It's just a collection of panels. Like there's like nothing to it beyond that. It looks like it's almost like it's a cardboard box that you just assemble and it's there. Like where there's like some heft to a robot based cab. I don't know. It's just the impression it gives me. Again, at a blown up scale, makes me worry that when I like am playing with it, it might try to collapse when I try to move the cab.
The clear windows don't help with that either, where you can see all the stuff folded up inside and see that it's just, thin panels around.
Yeah.
Rolled up robot bits.
Yeah.
Basically, it's kind of like Galvatron from the one with the collapsible Age of Extinction. I think it's kind of like that to me, where everything just fits inside of a shell. Although that Galvatron
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, Brian, if you and I pull out our die stacks and take a look at them, we could see.
I gave mine away.
Oh, okay.
I think I gave it away. I may have sold it.
I mean,
gave most
even with the Masterpiece Ultra Magnus, the cab is just a collection of panels together. And this manages to pull off the trick without the butt flap. So,
Well, they have had like 10 years to figure that out.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from though, because I can't remember the toy that I used to try and pick up and would just, collapse. The whole shell would just kind of fold in on itself. And yeah, I can see, hopefully this doesn't do that. Hopefully it locks together nice and solid, but I will be interested to see once this starts coming out.
So what's this up with this for Anthony watermark on this?
Yeah, I noticed that. There doesn't seem to be a copy of that stock photo yet that doesn't have that.
Yeah. Like, one, it's interesting it just says Anthony.
Uh-huh.
And two, I have never seen them use stock photos. I mean, yes, they will watermark stuff. That's how we found out about the leaker back, but like something usually when it's like this, it's not watermarked. And I don't know why this one is. It's just...
Well, probably when whoever was preparing this stuff to be sent out, like obviously these watermarks are going to be on separate layers that they can toggle on and off, and somebody just forgot to toggle this off when they were exporting this from the TIFF file to the the distribution format.
I mean, yeah, but this one even almost looks like it's generated, like one that you would get like on a screener video.
What photo?
The exosuit
Noah Diaz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a watermark all over it.
Yeah, but did you also notice that the box for Ultra Magnus seems to show it having the spring-loaded matrix launching function we were joking about last week?
Oh, does it? I wasn't looking that close.
Yeah, the back panel sure seems to show that. It may just be trying to show that it's removable, but
I think that's probably it.
Yeah, but it sure looks like it's launching.
It's like an offensive weapon. Like if this came out in the 80s, that's exactly what it would have. The Matrix would be a weapon.
There were I believe there were SD Transformers figures that came with a Optimus Prime that had a launching Matrix way back. And the comic actually shows him just bonking Megatron with it.
Well, I mean, that's about the best he could do with it if, the world wasn't ending.
Yeah.
Should we read into anything that the verbiage on this is Ultra Magnus leads defensive measures against the Decepticons invading Autobot City instead of like another scene from the movie?
I mean, what do you want them to have? Ultra Magnus dies in horrible agony on the planet of junk?
Yeah, or something else.
Oh, okay.
No, that's next year's sets.
I mean, there's so many scenes in the movie, and that's not like his greatest moment by any stretch in the movie.
I don't know. Commanding the defense forces of Autobot City is a pretty solid part of his portrayal.
Yeah.
It doesn't have him fumbling the Matrix at Optimus Prime's death.
Or not being able to deal with it right now.
Which, is an infamously misunderstood scene, but we'll set that aside.
Yeah.
It doesn't have him being blown up on the planet of junk, and then it doesn't
failing
have him
to open the Matrix.
I guess it's not like evading Galvatron and the Decepticons. I always thought was like a good moment.
I think honestly, coordinating the defense of Autobot City is Magnus's best moment in the movie,
and he is a city commander.
Because once they put him back together on junk, he does not do a damn thing for the whole rest of the movie. It pivots over to being Hot Rod all the time.
That's true. That's true. Again, the original toy was a city commander. That was his classification. But I just thought, hey, we speculated that maybe a Metroplex, Autobot City Metroplex, could be a future, Titan or a HasLab or something.
Mm-hmm.
That maybe this is a hook. Right?
HasLab.
And it could be.
HasLab.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. I think I'm good with that. Oh yeah, PulseCon is going to be September 22nd. I guess I need to take that day off from work now.
I'll be in Virginia Beach in a convention that day.
You're gonna hang out with Kevin?
I'll be in a convention that day.
Okay. What's the convention?
It's a glass convention, auto glass.
Oh, I thought it was a toy convention.
No, it's a work function, Brian.
Okay, I thought you were traveling there for that toy store that Don and Kevin had talked about.
No, I might stop by there though.
Kevin's always he hasn't in a while, but he used to send me pictures of stuff from there. And I'm like, man, this stuff is one, expensive, and two, I would love to have it, but I'd really just rather go hang out with you and look at all this stuff instead of get photos. So, Transformers Cross Stranger Things collaboration, Code Red Volkswagen Type 2 pizza van. I have not made it more than 2 episodes into Stranger Things, and I just did not care for it.
That's
I haven't
more
watched any.
episodes than I've watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
So this does nothing for me.
It's a heavy partial off of Earthrise Ironhide.
And it looks like the model Volkswagen camper that my grandfather used to own. So
Yeah, it's the successor to the like. Sorry, go ahead.
I might get it on that connection, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's the successor model to the like classic Volkswagen bus body type.
Yeah.
Also, this is featured in the Ninja Turtles movie that's coming out this year as the turtle van for that.
Ah, makes sense.
Yeah, same model.
I want this to be a turtle van now.
Well, it won't be. So
I know, but
I just want I want it without
Unless
the
somebody
sign.
sells a really neat upgrade kit for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
his feet look like they're hidden a lot better on this, although we don't see a shot of the back.
Mm-hmm. That's what
yeah.
the previous one did too.
Well, okay, so like on the robot feet on this, you can see like isolated window panels on part of the surface. So like they have styled these feet to actually like fit into the body shell of the van. Like they're not going to just be feet hanging off the back like on Earthrise.
So how much?
are a little bit disguised?
Yeah, how much is this? Like $50?
$44.99 if I'm reading the Autobase Aichi post correct.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I think that's about right.
Does it come with the pizza?
If it came with a coupon for a pizza, I'd do that.
I know that there was branded, because there's right now at Walmart, there's branded Ninja Turtles pizza. A while back, there was branded Stranger Things pizza. I had no idea what it was, but it was like, had jalapenos on it. So I was like, absolutely, I will get that. It was pretty good.
Well, there is a coupon on the front for free delivery. So
Yes, to a made up pizza place, unfortunately, but unless there is a pizza place in Lenora Hills, California, which I'm betting doesn't exist either.
Right.
Also, just on the subject of pizza boxes, I believe Pizza Hut has also been having like TMNT movie tie-in boxes lately. So
That's cool.
if anyone for some reason collects pizza boxes, there you go.
Anyway, I like the look of this, and like I'm into the alt mode. If this drops to like $35, I will probably consider picking it up. Not into it for the full SRP.
I have established in my personal collection, my goals, collaborative figures don't necessarily qualify. I can get it if I want it, but I don't have to have it.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same
Fair.
way. Like I'm not gonna just get them because they exist. If it's interesting looking in some capacity and I can get it for a price I'm happy with, like I will pick something up, but I'm not gonna just like go all in on the collab stuff.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Like I think I didn't even get the Jurassic Park set until Hasbro's sale last year, when I was able to get for like $48 or something after the sale price was applied.
Oh, and of course somebody has Hot Shot and Jolt in hand.
Yeah. I mean, presumably they had these before the reveal and they were just sitting on them to not, draw unwanted attention more like than not.
Yeah.
It still looks good, but I just
Yeah, so this Jolt is the best designed Armada Jolt so far. The original one and the Universe redo both had kind of the same problem where there was no heels on the robot mode's feet, so you had to like hunch the thing forward to make it stand. This actually has flip out heel spikes, so it can stand up. We can see it's pretty posable, and it's a tiny bit taller than a Siege Micromaster, so like very, very good size on this. Probably very
Nice.
comparable to the original Minicon, actually.
And I love that they went with the show color, which is also just like directly in between the two colors that the toy Jolt ever came in.
Right, because the toy was like a very vivid red. The Power Links version was bright yellow, so they just like averaged them, and
Mm-hmm.
good enough.
it'll work.
Exactly.
Let's see here. What else?
Also, I've had it pointed out in the meantime that apparently Jolt didn't really appear in the show in Power Link's colors anyway. So
Okay.
if they're going for show-oriented appearance like the Hot Shots kind of are, like this is more correct.
So Jurassic Park collaboration. This is what the Newman figure.
Yeah, Dennis Nedry. Yeah, all we have is a picture of the Jeep toy. There's not a sample of the dinosaur as yet that I've heard of.
I don't like the Jeep. I don't like the robot. Well, I don't like. Well, I should say I don't like that robot. That does not look interesting.
It looks okay to me, but it's nothing I'm in a hurry to own. I do like the I do like the Barbasol can. I like that it comes with that, but that's about all I can say for it at the moment.
The Barbasol can is cool, but
If the set gets cheap like the other one, I'll pick
That's
it up.
unfortunately that's my. I had my hand over the pre-order button. It's like, how much is the first one again? It's that much off of retail. I'll wait.
like this episode is brought to you by Autobase Aichi. There's like photos of Legacy Strong Arm there.
They were always great to have around when I was doing news posts.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have like my minor quibbles, but it looks good.
I mean, I've been watching episodes of Robots in Disguise on Hasbro's YouTube channel, and like the show model might have like wider set shoulders, but like the general body shape and proportions this is pretty well a match for that. Like it's not nearly as far off as we were thinking originally.
Yeah, I really love the original Robots in Disguise figure.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. It's probably the best thing out of that first wave.
Yeah, and I don't know, this doesn't click the same way for me, but it's okay.
Yeah. I'll certainly be happy to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I keep forgetting that Minerva figure came out. There's a photo of Riverside of Minerva.
Yeah, Strong Arm will be the third thing off of that body type.
Yeah. They have gotten a lot out of that.
I mean, to be fair, Strong Arm is literally like 55% a new toy. The whole upper body is a different toy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else do we have? Legacy Detritus. Again, the figure that doesn't need to exist.
I think this might represent like our first real look at the vehicle mode for like our first all-around look at the vehicle mode for the Hound retool. Which, I mean, it turned out pretty well. It could use like some flaps on the back so the leg joints aren't sitting there so prominently. It looks a little bit, open on the back end, but not too bad.
Yeah.
So I haven't really looked at this. Is this a retool?
Yeah, it's a retool of Siege Hound.
It looks...
The basic skeleton of it is still there.
It's basically a reshell.
And then I'm pretty sure that's the movie Retro Hound next to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they going to make a swindle out of this too?
I doubt it.
I
That's
think
why we're getting detritus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if we're going to see us Combaticons, that could be unless they do an Autobot.
Yeah, if we're gonna see a swindle in Generations, we'll see the other Combaticons as well.
Yeah.
And it'll be cartoon accurate also.
Yeah, okay.
Or as close as possible.
Didn't we get the Hound though in the Bumblebee line?
We're supposed to.
We're going to.
It hasn't come out
Eventually, someday.
So Buzzword
Perhaps.
Bumblebee will have the base
Hound.
color. Okay, Hound. Okay.
Yeah, I imagine that's gonna hit like over the winter, like maybe January, early February, something like that. They won't have produced it now because they'll be working on Detritus, and they'll want Detritus to come out first so that the mold does not like debut to Target. Because who knows, there might be issues with reusing the mold if the exclusive version is put out
That
first.
makes sense.
Plus, Towline is hitting Target shelves now as their exclusive figure, so they're going to want to wait on Hound.
Yeah, but I mean, they could have put that
yeah.
in any order they wanted to.
Oh, they
if
could
the other
have. I
things were-
agree, but
Yeah.
Just something about like the front of the vehicle just looks off to me. Like where the headlights are and the grill.
Well, it's tiny square headlights instead of larger round headlights, which does kind of change.
Yeah, it changes the profile of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you want those weapons right now in bright orange, pick up a G2 Jazz.
Right. Yeah.
Well. Oh man, I've completely forgot about the Troop Builder 4-pack.
I
Oh, yeah,
have.
that's a thing.
Yeah, so that's actually being fulfilled by Hasbro Pulse UK right now. So the pictures we have are actually legitimate retail copies.
Oh,
Neat.
that's amazing.
Yeah, so what's interesting is the link to the tweet I put down there, which has Thundercracker and the Troop Builder Seeker together, and like there is a more distinctive color difference between them than it originally seemed like, based on that picture.
Thank
But you're-
goodness.
But you're still not going to really be able to tell through pictures because that lavender color is hard to photograph.
Yeah.
Yeah. In pre-show, we were talking about pre-orders and stuff, and I said I'd canceled everything, but I forgot about a couple of items, and I did forget that I had this one pre-ordered from Target, and I just checked to see the status of that, and it's still showing that it's like October.
I think I had this on pre-order from Pulse. I have one on pre-order. It's just a matter of which store did I pre-order it from.
Yeah, I'm not
I'll
gonna get
find
this from
out
Pulse.
sometime soon.
I couldn't get this from Pulse. Okay. Still looks nice. Looking forward to it. I
Yeah.
probably will only get one.
I
Matt,
will
how-
get more when they go on clearance.
if they go on clearance.
But all the Target multi-packs go on clearance. Like this,
I'm
This
pretty
is
sure
the-
it's still available for pre-order on Target's
this,
website.
this is designed for multiple purchases, but the reality is like most of the people who are interested in this are ever only going to buy one. There's not a ton of people out there that are going to like heavily troop build this. So like the supply is not going to get depleted that fast.
There are
Yeah.
few people out there as stupid as I am.
Well,
and a lot of them are sitting here right now.
I'll be honest. I bought one, and I asked Christy to buy me one because I want 2 Jax's troopers.
Mhm.
I want maybe at least
2
one
auto troopers.
2 auto troopers. But I'll be honest, the one seeker and probably one Quintesson guard can probably going to be up for sale or something because I don't really
Well,
need.
We might be able
Extras
to
of-
work something out there, Don.
Yeah,
Okay.
I only need one of the bailiffs, honestly.
Yeah, I just want another one in this color because I've never opened my Pit of Doom set, obviously, because it's so beautiful in the box.
And we'll see how the Seeker feels in practice in this nth iteration of it.
Yeah, but if I have 2, I'm sure I can let one go and get a little bit of the cost of the set back because I don't need multiple seekers.
It seems like from my admittedly limited observations, like the Seeker is one of the things that people are wanting to like move on from the set as they're like making deals between themselves. That seems to be like the redheaded stepchild of the set, followed by the bailiff.
So,
Everybody wants the G2 troopers and the auto troopers.
you mentioned the Seeker. Somebody on the social media network formerly known as Twitter posted a picture of Thundercracker side by side with the Seeker.
Yeah, I was referring to that a couple minutes ago.
Yeah. So it looks nice.
That's all right. I'm perfectly okay with people wanting to unload those seekers because that means I can get as many as I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, if the mold has held up to that point and it still, feels good build quality wise, like I will take some unwanted seekers probably.
Yeah. Looking at this reminds me of the conversation from last week about Nacelle. It just angers me a little more.
Matt, how do you feel about that this week?
I'm fairly certain I don't want that in a cell.
Not that nacelle, no.
No, not that in a cell. No.
No, we need our blue thrust, and I also demand
Blue
Dirge
thrust,
Wing-
that's not a cone head. Blue
And
thrust,
I
that's
dem-
not a cone.
and I demand Dirge Wing Skywarp also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see this. I almost jumped to what we got this week. Rise of the Beast is available to stream on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Paramount
you have a-
Plus is really quick to start showing movies. I guess to capitalize on being on the streaming service. Sonic 2 was on really quick. Top Gun Maverick was on really quick. So that doesn't really speak to the quality of Rise of the Beast, but that is really quick.
Mm-hmm.
It's still in theaters, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure you can find a theater that still has it somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously going to be like heavily tapering off its theatrical run by now, I would think. But
Yes, I'm sure Barbie and Oppenheimer have thoroughly crushed it at this
I mean,
point.
I would say as recently as 3 weeks ago, my local theater in town still had it up on their marquee. So
I mean, visually, it's worth like most all movies. Obviously, it's worth seeing in the theaters. But the good thing about Rise of the Beast is that you can actually follow the action and not get lost in the sea of
It makes
coat
sense.
hangers, in a whirlwind of coat hangers and baling wire.
Yeah, so Rise of the Beast last weekend brought in no, not even last weekend. This was it's as of today. It's at it brought in $205,000 over the weekend. So it's still in theaters, just not it was the number 9th movie domestically this past weekend, looks like. So
that's still pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah, for something that came out full month ago now.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
It was early June, wasn't it?
I think.
Yeah, it was at my birthday. I saw it on my birthday, June 7th.
Yeah, so
right,
almost
yeah.
2 months.
Yeah.
Worth seeing.
Well, so I mean that works out for me too, because like I said way back, like yeah, this is gonna be the first Transformers movie I'm not gonna bother to go see theatrically, and now I don't have to go back on that. I can just sit and watch it with the Paramount Plus subscription I paid for anyway to watch Strange New Worlds with.
Yeah, and there is a free tier, isn't there? Is there a free tier for
No.
I
Well,
think if you go
if
through
you have Walmart
Amazon,
Plus,
there's a free
right,
trial.
yeah, Walmart Plus.
If you have Walmart Plus, you get the ad-supported tier, and I think that tier is only like $5 a month. Okay, that's it. Let's jump to what we got this week.
Okay.
Chris, do you want to go first?
Yeah. So last week you'll remember I got Toxitron in and was waiting on some more of the G2 stuff. So in the interim, my next shipment from Walmart arrived. So I have Cloudcover, which, as I was talking about just a little bit ago about how the Seekers are holding up, judging by this cone head, not too bad. It still pretty well fits together the way it's supposed to. The one problem I've observed is just that the chest piece doesn't really want to clip around the shoulder planks the way the first few runs did. But
yeah, mine's doing the same. I haven't transformed it yet, but that's the first thing I noticed.
Once I actually pushed some stuff around and got it to seat down, it's holding in place. But it does not really want to naturally do that on its own. You got to work with it a little bit, but it's far from being a detrimental problem to the execution of the mold. I strongly suspect. So the Dirge re-release that came out in this most recent wave of Legacy, it has brown plastic wings where the Earthrise release of Dirge had black plastic wings painted over brown. I strongly suspect they have rehabbed or remade parts of this Seeker mold. And one of the consequences of that was being able to put Dirge's wings on a different part of the sprue to get that base plastic color. Between that and this just feeling pretty good, I think this actually feels better than Coronation Starscream in execution. So I really do think we might be looking at a redone or heavily refurbished version of the Seeker mold.
I mean, you'd think at this point they'd almost have to, because this is the 4th version of just the ramjet parts that we've gotten.
Yes. Yeah, so I mean, the classic Seeker, the old workhorse, we knew from minor detail changes across that toy from instance to instance. They had multiple different mold sets for that for different uses. And so there's obviously still mileage to get out of the Seeker design, so I would not be at all surprised if they invested in, let's keep this up, keep it where we can have it in circulation more. There's still, hundreds of Seekers they can potentially release, so, why leave that money on the table, right, Don?
Exactly.
This is a beautiful deco. I love this shade of blue. For the Gundam aficionados out there, it is basically perfect Goof custom blue, which is one of my favorite shades. I love the really, really it's not quite white and it's not quite blue. It's super, super pale. The cloud camo deco, which I mean, technically the cloud camo should be on the underside, but you know how paint works on Transformers. Because Navy planes will usually have their camo patterns for what the ocean would look like under them on their top surface, and then they would have paint underneath to look like the sky above. So if you're cruising along above or below them and you don't have radar contact, you won't immediately pick them out visually. So this doesn't quite get that right, but it's pretty accurate to the original toy concept that we started seeing, I mean, just in the last few years that came to light. It's properly got its G2 insignia on the wings in a really, really nice shade of purple. It really pops out against the blue background. The checker mark tampos came out really clean on my copy. There's a little bit of paint overspray on one of the intakes that doesn't really detract because it's got the camo thing going on anyway, so an extra paint swatch doesn't super stand out. And while the cockpit canopy is also a clear blue, so it doesn't contrast against the toy, it looks really nice in the little bit darker shade it is versus the light blue plastic. This is just super, super pretty in hand. The only thing deco-wise I don't like is that the arm cannons had to be on the off-white plastic sprue, so they're fully paint dipped, and the connection pegs are white. But over time, I could see especially if this goes into storage and the parts are rattling around a little bit, these are going to end up, the arm cans are going to end up getting paint chipped, and it's going to be it's one of the weird considerations I have. If I gotta put this in a bin and put it in a storage building for a while, what are these accessories and things gonna look like when I take them back out? And I can just see this being it's gonna have little white flecks over it where the glossy black paint is chipped off when other things rub around. But overall, super, super happy with how this turned out. And just like G2 Sandstorm that we got a year or two ago, I love that we're getting these concept things in plastic in modern toys. I would also, on some level, love to see the retro reissue line look at some of this stuff too, to get these ideas out in the originally intended format. I think that'd be a really cool thing to do if Walmart wanted to go that way with that subline. But for my money, having the modern toys do this is the best thing. Along with that, that's where I put it. I also had in that package Nacho Cheesy or Jazz. So in car mode, it's great. All the pieces come together and seat really nicely. Everything tabs in securely. The colors are really good. Honestly, of course, you know how I am. I would have liked there to be more orange on the car mode, but the proportions of red to orange on the vehicle mode really actually do kind of lend to the Doritos-ness of this toy. So I will give it a pass on that. The paint over the clear plastic parts on mine is a little bit thin, so there is still a translucence to it, which is a little bit unfortunate. I didn't have that problem with Jazz or Jackpot off of this mold. The issue I have, and some of the rest of you can chime in on this, in robot mode where the shoulders flip around the wheel wells, that flip around joint is kind of loose and the arms just have a lot of play in them. They don't sit in position really solidly. And I really don't remember having that problem with previous iterations of this mold.
Mine seems fine.
Okay, so I might have just got loose fittings on this one, unfortunately, which I think that's probably a pinned or riveted joint, so that's probably just going to have to be the way it is.
Also, I'd say more than spicy Dorito, I think more Flamin' Hot Cheeto, as color-wise.
I mean, I'm going with Doritos because it's got the triangle shapes on the doors and spoiler.
Yeah.
So it lends to that.
But
Yeah.
no, Matt.
Forgot about that.
Cheeto's the other guy.
But yeah, I just looked at mine. Mine does have the kind of loose shoulder jointing you're describing as well. But to be honest, it just kind of what's the word? Works in an almost like expressive way for the toy.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, you could do that with
just has power shrug action. I can live with that.
Yeah, I mean, you could certainly do that with the previous iteration. Just didn't feel like it was as bouncy as this one is.
Yeah, this is pretty bouncy. If his weapons were any heavier, I have a feeling I'd have a problem with it. But it's holding up okay as it is.
Yeah, I like the way the face is decoed. There's like a really subtle difference between the visor and the face, which I don't think ever came across well in the product photography, but you can see it in person. And the yellow against the orange helmet pops in a nice way too. It doesn't feel like it would be contrasting enough, but it really is. It's not the like perfect orange jazz of my dreams, but I love this for what it is. And again, I love seeing these weird concept things, which this one we didn't know about until Jim Sorensen's box art book. So full credit to Jim Sorensen for this being able to happen in the first place, because this was not even in any popular consciousness up until that point. And the fully new weapon for this is an interesting addition. The shoulder missile launcher thing, which I'm not even sure it can use that way. And then I still don't really know why the Hound gun is actually included with this, but it's there too, along with the Jasmold's original weapon.
Chris, you can take the shoulder mounted gun.
Nice.
I showed this to Rob last week pre-show. If you fold the door flaps in and raise the back of the hood, there's just enough clearance that you can put the gun in where the hinge is at, and when you close it, it'll sandwich that peg hook in between the back of the chest and the hood part, and it'll hold it roughly in place. And
I'll try that.
Yeah, so you can do it. It's just you're just sticking it in that crevasse between the two parts.
I've also seen people use the shorter Hound gun to kind of just have the missile launcher kind of loom over one shoulder, and that kind of works too.
Oh, kind of like how people were doing with the Mirage Retools launcher.
Yeah, except Jazz has a really nice centrally located socket on his hood that makes it a lot easier to do than I felt it was with Mirage.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll look into those when I transform it again. It's in vehicle mode right now. And then so the rest of my G2 collection unfortunately will come tomorrow. So thank you Post Office and FedEx for that. But I did manage to get Towline in. I ordered this from Pulse last week, and I actually have it already.
Oh, nice.
So that was an unusually fast turnaround for Pulse. Alas, Towline, the slight retool of Scrap Hook, has the same problem I described with my first Scrap Hook, where if you try to use the biceps with one arm, the elbow just rips off instead on the friction hinge. So sad trombone on that. It's my understanding not all of the Scrap Hooks had that problem to that degree, so hopefully some of the toe lines escaped that too. This one didn't, but Towline is interesting in that it's completely wrong for the character as originally presented, but it looks really nice on this mold. The colors are basically spot on perfect to the Robots in Disguise toy. So excellent work there for getting that detail correct. There's even the way the plastic colors break down, there's I think the unpaintable plastic sprue is a dark purple. And so on the roof where the robot head flips in, there's a little dark square which looks like it would be a rub sign. Of course it's not, but it has that same position and feel, and the tone is right. So that's an interesting little detail, even if unintended. But mostly it just works like Scrap Hook worked with a new head sculpt, which the head sculpt is pretty good. It's not like exactly proportionately right for Towline, Wrecker Hook, Machine Wars, Hoist, and
Hubcap.
thank you. Yeah. But it's good. It's in the spirit of it, and like if they wanted to do the Machine Wars tow truck characters off of this, or Robot Masters Wrecker Hook, like totally, I would take some of those off of this too. Like these Junkion designs they'd be really good. They feel like they would fit in something called Machine Wars, and honestly, any kind of like Robot Masters homages they want to do at this point, I am totally on board for. They could absolutely take a Crash Bar, do a little retooling on that, and put it in Sideways colors for the Robot Masters version of Sideways, which was based on Laser Cycle Road Pig. Like it's got a lot of the visual cues there to make that work. So like there's a ton of stuff I feel like they can do with these Junkions, and like please do them. I will buy them. I want more of this play pattern, and
yes, please.
I want more of the play pattern and quote unquote ecosystem of this specifically. Like to mix and match the vehicles like this is just a stroke of brilliance. I want more stuff I can swap around like that.
Well, one thing I wanted to address, if I could, real quick, Brian, is I mentioned how great Towline looks on Twitter, and someone responded, "It's not even the right vehicle mode. It's a lazy repaint." And I'm thinking,
it's a beautiful repaint.
It's a beautiful repaint, but I'm thinking that's the thing with generations. I don't want everything to be MicroMasters like the thing we had with ball joints. I don't want that across the line just to make it look like the way it used to. I want the spirit of G2. I want the inspiration from that time period to carry over to these figures. And I think people will enjoy this G2 subset more if they just remember it's the spirit of G2. It's like the BotCon set. A lot of people I know said that's not a G2 set. I said it's the spirit of Generation 2, not a direct copy of it.
Towline was a lazy repaint of Hoist. That's the point.
In bizarre 90s colors.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it's more spirit of the Generation 2 than it's the exact same thing. Why didn't we get the exact same thing? And it's not the way this works. It's.
I mean,
I love it.
Right.
I love it because those colors look straight up like a 90s Playmates Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toy.
Yes, it does.
Like that is probably as close as we're going to get to a Ninja Turtles crossover. I need at least one Towline in my life.
Brian is right. Wrecker Hook / Towline was a air quotes lazy recolor that Takara did for Car Robots, but I love Car Robots for having like 60% of the line populated by molds that Japan either never got before or that they had in their lines previously, but that they gave a facelift to and just filled out this toy line after their Beast Wars ended, because at that point they were getting sick of making Transformers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not complaining.
Like I love that era for that kind of creativity of, okay, what old molds can we pull out and fit into our price points? Okay, what can we do with them to make them look interesting?
Beast Wars second.
Yeah.
To great effect. That's exactly what they did. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
They pulled Triptychon out.
Well, like half of him.
Yeah.
No, I love that age of Takara when it's just like, yeah, what can we throw at the wall? Okay, do it.
Yeah.
Slather it in paint and throw it out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I got.
Yeah. Cool. Rob, what'd you get?
If I were Don, I'd call it an eclectic mix, but what I got is a nice stack of ham sandwiches here.
Okay, cool.
First off, just totally on a whim, because I have been watching a lot of Shout Factory's Tokusatsu channel lately. I bought the Mego Toys Ultra 7. I have never owned a Mego mold character before.
So when you say Mego, do you mean like the 70s toys, or what are you talking about?
Yeah, apparently they are a thing again. And some of the stuff I've seen out there, you've probably seen stores reissues of like the old Star Trek figures.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing new Star Trek figures. They're doing Ultraman.
That's right.
They're doing
that's right. There was a Khan and a Kirk a year or two back.
Yeah.
There was also a Locutus. There was a Saru and a Burnham.
I remember the Saru, yeah. And
Yeah.
like the Fonz and a bunch of stuff Target had.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I forgot all. Yeah, you're right. I Dream
Yeah,
of
so-
Genie, I think.
Yeah,
I
they've
think
been
so.
doing this for like 10 years at this point.
Yeah, so they had they had Ultra 7 for like $16 on Amazon, so I figured why not. And it's, I'd never handled one of those before, but it's basically what I expected, which is more or less the original GI Joe play pattern. It shrunken by about 33%. It's got cloth costume, rubber boots, and it's an okay likeness considering it is one of those trying to look like it was done in the 70s deals. So that was the first thing I got. The rest of it is all kind of themed. I saw Shin Kamen Rider, which is up on Amazon Prime Video to see for free under the title Shin Masked Rider. I bring this up because if you search for Shin Kamen Rider, it will not show up. But I really enjoyed that movie. It's worth a watch. I got the Bandai Figure-Ice standard kit of Kamen Rider #1 from the movie. Now I have to track down a trench coat somewhere. But there's auctions on eBay I am certain are designed to go with this because it's both a trench coat and a cloth scarf. So I'll like 90% certain that people are doing that on purpose. And the other thing I got was a game for the Switch, SD Shin Kamen Rider Rumble, which is it's I put a detailed review on Twitter at, I think twitter.com/RobFlails still works. So I won't belabor it here, but it is a very simple brawler with a bunch of really nice like license polishing on it and a decent like leveling system. It's it's kind of half-assed, but the one cheek that's there is pretty nice. So I think that's everything I've gotten this week. I've got a couple other things coming I will blather about next week.
Cool. Matt, what'd you get?
I only got one thing this week, but it actually came in the mail today from Pulse. I got Cloudcover.
Sweet.
Chris covered him pretty well. Don covered him pretty well last week too. He does hold up pretty darn well. Mine goes into jet mode fine.
Mhm.
Like I didn't notice any clipping issues or anything like that. He seems to close over the chest, the shoulders close over the chest pretty well. I will buy as many Seekers in the Earthrise mold as they're willing to make. Like I think they made a mistake with Nacelle using they definitely used the wrong one. I would buy Nacelle and Earthrise. I would buy Dirge Warp. Sunstorm, no brainer. Do another team pack next year of troop builders and do it in teal. I will buy them all. They are wonderful. I have heard that there are people out here who actually don't like the Earthrise mold. I don't understand that. And if you were one of those people, do not under any circumstances ever speak to me. Because you are wrong. But yeah,
there's no common ground there.
No, none at all. Yeah, Cloudcover is amazing. The only thing I don't have from Toxitron collection now is Toxitron. I will remedy that eventually. But that's it for me this week.
Cool. Don.
Push your button, Don.
No, I thought I flipped the switch. Hang on.
We can hear you, Don.
Well, his mouth was moving and we didn't hear anything at first, so like.
And I'm sitting here saying, no, you're good. We can hear you while I'm muted. So that's doing a lot of good.
Adventures in podcasting.
Yeah. No, Don.
You think
Don's trying really hard right now for
Okay.
our non video audience.
You think after 24 years we'd have this figured out?
Don's only been here for like 12 years.
Yeah.
How about now?
Yes.
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 Okay. Yeah, the button was not wanting to slide on the simple mechanical switch. Okay. I've got an eclectic mix this time. Like I
Take a
always
drink,
do.
everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks to some again, Dononomics were involved in most of this. I found a second Lothar. Finally, that was
Oh, what?
It doesn't look
Lothar
like Ninja Storm.
from Defenders of the Earth. I now have a complete set of Defenders of the Earth loose.
Is that
open.
Luke Cage?
Oh, shut up, Diecast.
I kind of think, yeah, I see where you're coming from there.
I don't know what
Yeah,
I don't know what
kinda see
Lothar is. It does look like Luke Cage.
Well, it's Defenders of the Earth from NECA. I now have a complete set in the box and a complete set to open. So I was able to
Why
do
would
that.
you want to open it? It's a NECA figure.
Yeah.
Well, also, again, I kind of wanted a backup. But,
In case it, like the other one, like the paint breaks on it.
well, just in case something happens. But yeah, I have a complete set of Defenders of the Earth figure. We went up to Lynchburg last week for a little bit, and I stopped by the local GameStop. I got the AXN, the Casey Jones, for $5 on clearance.
Which Turtles line is that?
The AXN, the best AXN.
Yeah.
Best action.
Yeah,
I
best
forget
action.
Who makes that?
Best action, I think.
Yeah. But it was $5 down from 20. So
How
I
are
went
those
ahead.
compared to the other lines?
Not good.
Oh,
Best action
Worth
does not
about
have a good
$5.
reputation.
Yeah.
Best action, not best reputation.
Yeah. Also, while I was at GameStop, I found some more clearance. I did watch the Dungeons and Dragons movie with my wife about 2 weeks ago, and they had marked down the two of the characters from the movie down to $10 a piece. So basically, it was less than buy one get one free. So, and that's the two characters I liked from the movie the most. So that works out well. I may pick up the rest if they go clearance, but that's good. Thank you to my aunt who got me a $50 Amazon gift card. I got the Sega Genesis Mini 2.
Oh, nice.
For $50?
Yeah, it was $97. There was a $22.50 instant coupon. Shipping was $23 through DHL. I got it in 2 days.
Amazon Japan.
No, Amazon US.
Oh.
It was on Amazon US for $97. There was a $23 and change coupon code. Shipping was a little bit more than the coupon code, and I had the $50 from my aunt as a birthday gift. So I got the Mini 2 for $50. And
But you
I'll be
paid
honest,
$100 for it.
no, I paid $50.
You paid $100
But
for it.
Here's the main thing. I got it for a lot of the games, but the one game I got it for, Atomic Runner, one of my favorite Sega Genesis games.
Don paid $50 for that. Don's aunt
Paid
paid.
the other
Yeah.
50. But I mean, that seemed like that was a really great price, and it's got a great selection of games on it.
I should know this, but I'm going to ask anyway. This is a different assortment of games from the Genesis Mini 1, right?
Yes.
Like, I'm looking at the list of games on it, and there are a lot here that should have been on the first one.
Yeah. Like, nice to see
was
Shining
switching
Force
it on.
CD back in circulation.
Yeah, there is some duplication, but Atomic Runner is one of my
It has Night Trap on it.
favorite.
It does.
It's got
I've never
Sonic
played-
CD on it. Sonic CD is great.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Sonic CD.
Now, my question, I doubt that it has the original music. The Sonic Boom song, like later versions, like remove that.
Mm.
I love
Yeah,
that
they
song.
went back to the Japanese soundtrack. So
Not as good.
It's a good question as to which one would be on there.
Yeah. So at that price, with one of my favorite Sega games of all time, I had to get it. Thanks to some more again Dononomics, I picked up the new one of the few Star Wars things I'll buy is the Micro Galaxy AT-AT.
Ooh,
I got it.
nice.
Yeah, I had thanks to what I bought earlier in the year, I had a $35 Target rewards card. So I got this for $25.
Okay, that's good. That's
Yep,
good.
so-
I would pay $25 for that.
Yeah, so because I sold my Power of the Force AT-AT years ago. I made a lot of money on that because I bought it on clearance at Toys R Us, and I sold it to pay for something. I can't remember what.
And
So
this
that,
is significantly smaller than that.
yes, but it's enough of a representation because that's one of the few vehicles other than the AT-AT, the Snow Speeder, and the Indoor Scout Trooper is about what I collect when it comes to Star Wars.
Because you're not a fan of Star Wars as much as you are of like specific set pieces in Star Wars.
Exactly.
I know the feeling, Don.
What Transformers did you get, Don?
Well, I got a few more off topic. I'm sorry, Brian, but I'll hurry.
Ham
Sorry.
sandwiches.
Sorry. Ben Riley,
Okay.
retro carded Ben
Is that a
Riley.
Transformer?
Do you want me to skip through everything else? To get the
No,
Transformers?
it's the correct Spider-Man, Brian.
Is Ben Riley the correct Spider-Man?
Yes,
Since when?
since the 90s.
Is that Uncle Ben?
Where he took the name from?
Anyway, real quick, Got a second Arctic Bat, as I mentioned in pre-show, to troop build. Got Rock and Roll.
Part 2.
Yep. Got the Python Crimson Guard. Got Tiger Force Dusty. Got Copperhead.
Like all the stuff I care about, you're like rushing through.
See,
Where'd you get the Arctic
Ryan?
Bats from? Because
That was GameStop. They got in a shipment, and they had a Dirge, which I didn't need because I was lucky enough to get the 2-pack. Not rubbing it in. I'm just saying I was lucky enough to get the 2-pack. And they got in and they also got in Torpedo. So they restocked them. So that's what I got for Joe's. The last 2 things I got. Thank you to Matt for being such a good friend. I have Watermelon Mirage.
You love it?
The gorgeous. I love it. The colors, the box, everything about this. I love. This is my Seeker mold. This is like the Seeker mold is for Matt's. I know it has its flaws, but this is the first official G2 Mirage in those abandoned colors.
And with my copy, as I transformed it a second time, some of the joints started to loosen up a little bit. So he did fit together a little bit better in car mode the second time. So it might just take a little bit of work.
Yeah. Okay. And also, I'm going to keep
Good
my
to
eyes
know.
out to see if Non-F does a kit for that to give him his because I've got the kit on the other one as well. And the last thing I got, I haven't had a chance to open it up. Studio Series 102 Optimus Prime, the Buzzworthy version.
Oh, cool.
That looks really great robot mode, and I've seen pictures of the truck, and it's like, what the hell happened in the bed of the truck?
Yeah,
we've seen them do better. We've seen Optimuses
okay,
with better back ends.
right. But Studio Series 38 was made out of the proper 8 tools. This was made out of 4, I think.
Yeah, they were able to do some really weird budgeting, and they got almost a whole new mold kind of out of that.
Yes, they got
one, right?
95% of a new toy out of the molds they were allocated to retool Studio Series 38. So
I'm impressed. I mean, robot mode
agree.
looks great. Robot mode looks great. It's just we've seen better back ends of Optimuses
on full tooled toys.
Yeah,
exactly. I agree. The vehicle mode is a big weak point on 102. And for that reason, I'm not going to buy that. But I also understand and accept why it's that way from an engineering standpoint. They just did not have that much to work with to clean it up more. But they made a really great looking robot out of that.
Is this the same as the other version that came out of that Optimus Prime?
No.
So it's not. So
no.
It's about a good head and a half taller than mainline.
Yeah, Studio Series 38 mainline and 102 are all different toys.
So what about the one that came out in Rise of the Beast?
This is the one from Rise of the Beast. Studio Series Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime is exclusive to Buzzworthy Bumblebee because originally it was just going to be a retool of Studio Series 38.
Okay, but
they did the Cosmos trick with it, and it's a whole new mold instead, practically.
So the one that came out in the Rise of the Beast packaging
is the mainline one, not the Studio Series one.
Okay. Yeah, which is
toy from that,
which is smaller and has a lot of Games Workshop gray on it.
Okay.
Yeah, there are three Bumblebee movie continuity Optimus Prime, Studio Series 38, mainline Rise of the Beast, and Buzzworthy Bumblebee Studio Series Rise of the Beasts.
Easy to keep track of.
And you need them all.
Oh, very.
Yeah.
No, nobody needs that mainline one, I don't think.
No, Brian.
I bought it. I bought it.
I
got it too. Yeah. It's an Optimus. I kind of like.
It doesn't look that bad. It just needs more plastic color variation.
Yeah.
That's the big problem with the mainline one. There's too much gray, like Don said.
Diecast, what'd you get?
Thanks to Matt, I got Super 7 Ray Flay cartoon. Ray Flay was actually one of my favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures growing up as a kid.
Was it the only one you had?
No.
Okay.
I had them all. Almost.
Me too. I don't even remember the toy.
It was just special to me. I remember he was hard to get, And I finally got one, and he just became my favorite default because it took me so long to find one.
Well, I got you.
But he's like, this makes me a lot more happy than some of the Transformers I got recently.
I believe, like the thing that made me the happiest that I got in the last 2 years was Sergeant Slaughter from Classified.
Yeah,
I totally understand.
he's absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Happy birthday.
Now the question is, did they go the extra mile and make that do the color changing thing?
I don't think so.
Probably not.
I also got some things you guys already talked about. G2 Jazz and Cloudcover. I always want to call him Cloud Raker or
Me too.
That's one of the Autobot clones.
Right.
Yep.
And then everyone knows I was complaining last week that Towline went up on Hasbro Pulse with no notice, and I missed it. But I found him in Target.
I need one badly.
That is
Look at those colors. He's beautiful.
It's pretty.
He is.
Yeah, in the entire Transformer
Nice.
section, that row is what they've been stocking for the past 2 days. Is where I found most of that. That's the only peg hook that does not have anything on it. Is the peg hook for Towline? That's the only figure they haven't found yet.
I found him on an end cap with no other Transformers on the end cap.
They killed the Transformers end cap that they had. They're making a new generic end cap. Is where I found Dusty and the Python officer on an end cap with some other collectibles. Theme end cap is being rotated out.
And the only reason I happened to go to Target was because I was out on my 3-wheeler and I wanted to get used to riding it. So I was doing like local things, and I was like, oh, I'll go to Target and just walk through, and found Towline. And he helped me find out that I can fit exactly one deluxe figure in this like glove box of my 3-wheeler. So
Speaking of Target, the Death on the Shuttle 2-pack of Ironhide and Prowl is street dated for the 30th. I did see 2. I tried to buy one, and it is street dated. So just let everybody know if you see it. It may be blocked in your area as well. I don't know if it's a nationwide thing or just maybe it was just, I don't know. But yeah,
street dates are usually nationwide.
Yeah, but whether they are enforced,
whether stores abide by them or not is something else entirely. Because like Towline, when they showed them off at SDCC, his plate said August 1st, and people had them last week. So,
but yeah, that's all I got this week.
I got a couple things Transformers related. I think this came from Dollar General or Pop Shelf, which is a Dollar General company. It's Transformers Band-Aids in like a cutesy art style.
Uh-huh.
I for whatever reason, whenever I find Transformers Band-Aids, I buy them. And
because you're stuck on Band-Aid.
Yeah, and Dollar Tree had the 2024, I think it's 16-month calendar. Yeah, 16-month calendar for $1.
Huh.
So it's not bad. The paper quality is very thin, which is fine because the calendar is effectively disposable. Unless you keep it for when the years recycle. But so I got that, and I will mention one off-topic thing I mentioned pre-show. I got Dr. Soren from Star Trek Generations.
Oh, McKay's find.
Yeah, McKay's fine because
nice.
I was killing time because
time is the fire in which we burn.
That's exactly right. That's exactly where I was going. Beat me to it. So
we were all racing for that one.
Yeah, I'm still doing my thinning down on my collection of stuff, not just toys, like medium, whatever. And I just had a load of stuff I took, and I had to kill some time, which is the fire in which we burn. And I made a point to check out the Star Trek figures, and I got that a Kalar and Dr. McCoy from Encounter at Farpoint.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we got this week. Hey, if you want to buy something on Amazon, if you go to tfradio.net/Amazon, it'll cost you no more. It'll help us out. You can always do that. I bookmark it. tfradio.net/Amazon. Then go there, hit bookmark, and you can just buy whatever. Be great. Also want to thank our patrons at patreon.com/tfradio. Patrons get an ad-free version of the show starting starting a while ago. You get RFC a day early, which doesn't mean 24 hours. It did this past week because I forgot. But
Oops.
Yeah, so but yeah, you get it a day early and all that. It's great. Higher bit rate, weekly Patreon exclusive pre-show podcast, unedited episodes of RFC if we happen to edit the show for content. Hot 5 a week early. Patrons at the Touch tier get to be on Hot 5. Touch patrons also get to be mentioned on the show each week and also listed at tfradio.net/credits. I want to thank Kevin Dorsey, AJ, Eric Griffin, Tyrell Gwynn, Rick Mahurin, Ryan Bona, Emmett Stresovich, Rabbits, Hector Bones, Ness, Joey Russell, who was in the chat at tfradio.net/Discord this week. I don't see Joey there that often during the show. That was great. Sean Williamson, Spider Bob, Jay Klein Rye, Sean Hamilton, also in the Discord this week. They live next door, basically, so they could both be in the Discord while hanging out at, Sean's house. Probably not. Jacob Owen Lucia. A lot of these people are in the chat. I don't want to just call it out, but they just happen to be right beside each other. Sean Bratton, Jason Hiley, TJ Petrucci, Hyper Shouta, and Brock Brand. Thank you all so much. You guys rock. Patrons also get special, if you connect your Discord to your Patreon, you also get a little color, your name in the Discord. So,
and access to the secret patron Discord channel.
This is true. Let's see here. You can find all of our stuff at tfradio.net. We're on the social media network formerly known as Twitter at tfradio. Apparently we're on Threads too. I set that up, but I kind of gave up on Threads. TF Podcast. We're on Instagram at TF Podcast. YouTube, all that. John DeLuna, he is not here this week. He was here a couple weeks ago. He is in the Discord right now, though. At that John D everywhere. Rob Springer at Robo Springer on Twitter and at zonebase.org. And by the time you hear the podcast version of this, the newest episode of Transform Squadron will be in your feed. I am currently on Twitter at bkilby, and you can find most of my stuff at briankilby.com. Diecast, how do people get a hold of you?
They can follow me on Twitter or on X or on whatever it's going to be called.
You're on X
next
now?
week. Yeah,
Huh, people still do that. I thought that was like a teenage thing.
Not the drug, the social media.
Oh,
That's like a drug. People sure get addicted to it.
It can be.
Habit forming.
But I am at Diecast 2. If you want to send me something for my birthday, it still counts, even though it was Saturday.
Birthday stuff for people. I'm behind.
It was I'm sorry, it's tfradio.net/diecast list. And then like my Facebook page at Reviews by Diecast on Facebook, and like my subscribe and share my YouTube channel, youtube.com/RFC Reviews.
Diecast, you need to put some cheaper stuff up on here on your wish list. You want people to send it to you.
I thought I had cheap stuff on there.
Oh, here's like a $10 Lego kit. Yeah, okay. Don, how do people get a hold of you?
I can be reached on the X Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. I also have a wish list on Amazon, tfradio.net/Don's list. I may wind up making some other social media homes, depending on if I can learn what the hell is out there that I can understand. Because
There are so many.
I know,
Don,
and I am
Don list because it's Don list.
Don list, yeah.
Singular.
Yeah, I am not a tech savvy person, which I know comes to a shock to a great many people. But you know,
Me especially.
my Apple IIe knowledge only goes so far.
That's a great platform, though.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
actually
if
say
I-
if you are skilled with an Apple IIe, you're probably more technical than like.
Yeah, if I could
99% of the people
remember,
out
if I
there.
could remember anything other than if I could remember anything other than open Apple, close Apple, and reset, I would probably be in better shape.
Hello, computer.
Yes. So that's where I can be. I can be found on Facebook as me. I don't like Facebook, but I'm
Nobody
there.
does.
So
Nobody likes.
that's it
Facebook.
for me.
Rob.
Okay, I am on Twitter as long as it lasts, or as long as I last. Actually, I think I'm going to give up before it does. I can quit anytime I want. At Rob Flails. That is the Twitter for Flail Throughs, my YouTube channel. Mostly Gundam gaming. Gundam Battle Operation 2 has its 5th anniversary starting this week. They are doing the High New Gundam and the Nightingale, and those should be massive and interesting. So High New Gundam comes out tonight. I will probably get it. And every Thursday, you can check out the update to the game and see what's been added. If you want to support that, patreon.com/flailthroughs, that will take you there. You can make requests. And tfradio.net/playlist for my wish list, which probably needs reorganized or something.
Cool. Chris.
I'm on social media. Okay, so I am Chris RTXV on Blue Sky now, on Mastodon.social, and on co-host.
What is Blue Sky?
So the people that originally made Twitter made a new Twitter after they sold the old Twitter to
That's the one I see a lot of people heading towards.
Right now it is, as I understand, invite only, so like it's a slow burn rollout, but probably like Gmail in a number of months it'll be open access and nobody will still use it probably. But yeah, if you're on one of those platforms, look me up, Chris RTXV. You can find me all the time in our Discord, tfradio.net/Discord. What Brian was saying about 2 people in the same place, basically hanging out both in the Discord. I've actually done that when visiting with Hey Mickey. I got him to join our Discord for occasional contributions, and we have both been talking at each other through our Discord while I've been in his living room. So it does actually happen in real life. If you can call me and Hey Mickey visiting each other anything like real life. If you want to find the stuff I've done on the internet, playwithphotography.com, galleries, articles, that sort of thing. And if you want to do random acts of material kindness at me, I have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/chrislist.
Cool. Okay, sweet. I think that's it. Man, we went over an hour this week. I thought we were done at like half an hour.
Yeah, I know. It was almost a me episode this week.
Yeah, but you know what? It was good, and now I know more
Yeah, it was.
about Cloudcover.
Mhm.
Cloudcover.
You should run to Walmart and see if you can find one, Brian.
Yeah.
Cloudcover the episode. That's that.
You have 8 minutes.
Yes.
Okay, we'll see you next week. Have a good one.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Take care, all.
Recording stopped.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to bed. I got an allergy headache.
Oh, I hate that. Good night, Diecast.
Good night.
Feel better.
Thanks.
I hate allergies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
actually,
came to-
it's-
I actually don't have allergies, apparently.
It's so much fun for me
Lucky.
when I have just like a nonstop sneezing fit for like an hour in the afternoon because something decides to bloom at that time.
Yeah, so apparently whenever I have like nonstop sneezing fits, it's like an infection, which is probably not as good as it being an allergy. I got an allergy test and I was allergic to like one thing only. Timothy
Yes.
grass.
It's sort of like I would rather have the worst allergy attack in the world versus the flu in the summer. Because I've got the summertime flu and it is absolutely miserable.
Yeah,
Ain't
it
no
is.
cure for the summertime flu.
That should have been in the show. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
susceptible to sinus infections and they just make me want to die.
Uh-huh.
Same. I can't take Benadryl anymore because of my other medications, so I forget what I'm taking now, but it seems to function. It just doesn't knock me out, which was kind of pleasant, honestly. Like anything that makes sleep easier, it was okay.
Though I will admit that I found that NyQuil and 90s tokusatsu go together really well with this.
Well, I mean, if you want to really have the ultimate experience with that, find some, classic metal heroes. That stuff's trippy without any chemical substances.
I was about to say, doesn't that go better with cat drugs, though?
Yeah.
Well, that's what went into the show.
Hey, people watching live, Matt actually had a good point about the going to Walmart. So I think I'm going to do that while I have 5 minutes. So I'm going to end the stream. So goodbye.
6 minutes,
Twitch.
Brian.
Yep. By Facebook. And
look at him, Brian. He's so good.
Yeah.
Do your Walmarts actually close at 10?
11. No, I have 6 minutes.
Okay.
It's not exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And goodbye. YouTube. I miss Walmart being 24 hours, but I know the employees don't miss it being 24 hours.
The company doesn't miss it being 24 hours either.
Yeah.
I was really